Hey, what's up guys? How you doing? It is Lasty here. It's Tuesday, which means it is that time again where we get the new FUTTIES SBC. So, as always, we have got one winner, which is going to be Raheem Sterling, as you can see on screen. Who would have thought the Premier League option would have won? That's just absolutely crazy to me. I just can't believe it. It's unreal. And then we have 3 new nominations, all for players which would receive position changes if they were to win. We have Iñaki Williams, a very popular player on this game. He would be moved to striker. I'd love to see that. And then we've got Florenzi, who would probably be a member of Club 80 easily, and he would be moved to centre mid. That'd be really good. Perfect linked, of course, to the SBC Totti, the SBC El Shaarawy, and just an overall beast on the game. And then we have who's going to win, who's going to be Moussa Sissoko, simply because he plays in the Premier League. He'd be moved to a centre mid as well. Which, don't get me wrong, he'd be absolutely great there. He is a solid player. I actually use this particular item on my road to glory as a substitute centre mid sometimes. But I just feel like he wouldn't cut it on my main account. Like nowadays, we've got the likes of Kante, Dele Alli, David Luiz, all of that have got crazy cards. Same with Pogba as well. I just don't see how Moussa Sissoko winner item is going to really fit into many teams. However, he would be a good link to Heung-min Son, of course. So there's potential there. And let's face it, he's probably going to win. And I'll probably use him and see how good he is anyway. So I shall start off with Raheem Sterling. That's the one you probably want to know about most, which is how you can go ahead and get this guy. Now, I think he's a little bit expensive. We've gone for an overall 84 rated squad today, which is actually quite expensive. Sometimes we'd be getting like 83 overalls, which just generally makes it a little bit cheaper. But today we have an 84 rating requirement. Now, I'm also starting to run out of players in my club, so certain players here I've either had to buy today, like I went out and bought Thiago and Javi Martinez. Whether or not they're the cheaper 85s, I have no idea, but they get a good link. Helps with chemistry, and literally I've got a centre-back at right mid, a centre-back at right back, a goalkeeper at left back, so I had to think a little bit about chem, and this is the squad that we've gone with today. So, in order to get our 84 overall rating, we have used 2 85s. How many 84s have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4 84s. So 2 85s, 4 84s, 2 83s, and then 2 82s as well. So yeah, like I tried to put an 84 and an 83 at right mid here. It just didn't work. I needed that overall 85 to use. It would have been much nicer, of course, if I could have got rid of maybe some higher rated players. You could get rid of Konoplyanka on the left hand side if you want to, but I'm not going to, because I'd rather use the player that I'm about to get, simply because, well, I would literally never ever use this 82 pink Sterling, but I might use an 85 pink and gold Sterling. Whereas, if I ever want to use Konoplyanka, yeah, perhaps I'll just use the pink version that I've got laying in my club. Or I can use him later on down the line for another SBC if I am really struggling for coins at that point in time. But I've just sold a couple of players, so I'm feeling a little bit, I feel like I've actually got some coins for once on this account for the first time in a long time. Yeah, this is how you're going to go ahead and unlock Sterling. A team like this, there's probably a cheaper 84 alternative than Wayne Rooney. But again, what you've got in your club is a lot cheaper than what you've got on the market. Like, if you've got untradeable players that are high rated, they don't really have a value unless you use them. So I would just suggest getting rid of them. It's at this point in the game that I really think about maybe just putting in like league SBC players like Eto'o and Gignac, players that I will literally never ever use, and they'll definitely get me an easy rating. But don't forget, they did cost quite a bit back in the day in order to get them and unlock them. So think twice before you go ahead and do stuff like that. Maybe for like the end of an era SBCs, I think people would get rid of players like that, but maybe not just for a pink Sterling. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and submit. We can get ourselves a Raheem Sterling, and to be fair, he does look absolutely amazing. He's on the left hand side, which means that he's different from the player of the month version, and well, he's 85 rated, whereas the player of the month was an 84, I believe, and he's got 96 pace, 92 dribbling, 82 shooting. Like, he'll actually be quite good, and I think if I can, I'll get a review out for him over the next couple of days for you, meaning that you guys will still have a day or two left to do the SBC, whether, you know, and I'll give you my thoughts and opinions on Raheem. But he's got 4-star skill moves and only a 2-star weak foot, so that could probably be his downfall out on the left-hand side. But maybe switch him in-game over to the right-hand side and you'll be golden. He'll be absolutely fine. So, we've gone ahead and completed the main one, but let's go and show you how I've completed all 3 of these today. So I'm going to start with Sissoko, who I think is going to win, and I've used silver players. I've started to run out of the higher rated gold players, like the non-rare, the higher rated non-rare gold players, which is what I had been using. I've typically been using quite a lot of the non-rare golds that are high rated, and then alongside like 3 bronzes in the team, and that would get me my overall rating up to 75 or 77, whatever the requirement was on the day. And then, to be honest, I'm starting to run out of those golds, so I'm going to have to use slightly higher rated players. Now, these Chileans have no value to me whatsoever. Even if they came up in a marquee matchups, I'm just not that fussed about it anymore. So I'm happy to get rid of them. Plus, of course, they're higher rated than the bronze items. So what you can go ahead and do is use a few more of them. So if you've got a bunch of silvers laying around, go ahead, use them. And then all I've used is 5 Spanish La Liga gold players, and they're all of relative rating, like 77, 78, like nothing too crazy, and that's what's got me my overall 75 rating, which of course isn't too high. It is literally entry level gold, so if you wanted to, you could use 11 players that are all like 75 rated gold players, and I'm sure you could get them for quite cheap. However, again, whatever you've got in your club is definitely cheaper than anything else. So easy, we can go ahead and get Sissoko for the club. Yeah, like I said, I think he's going to win it, just because he's Premier League. Ideally, I think Florenzi would be the one to go for if you were going to vote, just because, to be honest, like, he's more usable in that league than Sissoko is in the Premier League at this point in time. And I genuinely think Florenzi's stats will probably be a bit better. He starts off slightly higher rated, right? Being an 82, I think Sissoko was an 80. So we'd probably get like an 86 or an 87 rated Florenzi maybe, and if so, that would be pretty beast, I'm not going to lie. So, in this second one for Florenzi, what we've gone with, we've managed to use, we've got 6 gold players in here this time, and we've got 4 silvers and 1 bronze. So, I've just traded it out a little bit there to use that bronze player. I wonder actually if, just as a quick test, I'm going to see if this would help me. If I was to put a silver keeper from Poland there, have I got a high rated one? 72 is pretty good. If I was to do that, would I be able to take out, let's say, I don't know, have we got another Polish silver? Have we got like a midfielder that's silver from Poland? Yeah, that still keeps the rating, but can I use a non-rare? I can, so I can get this down from using 5 golds, from using 6 golds to using 5 golds, and then using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 silvers overall. Again, Polish players from the Polish league, that's not really going to ever be used by me, so I'm happy to get rid of them. And then I've got random, like, Liga NOS players that definitely don't mean anything to me, and then a couple of Polish players just to get that chem up. But as you can see, we're at 83. Whereas, well, we literally only needed 60, as they always have done. So that's absolutely fine, and we'll go ahead and submit this for Florenzi. So even if Florenzi wins, like, I think I actually use regular Florenzi or Bruno Perez in my squad, in my La Liga, in my Serie A squad, so I might even just keep this particular version and submit like a different player. Like, I might get rid of Konoplyanka in the SBC if Florenzi was to win, because then I'd have the option of using a pink Florenzi at right back, and then also like a pink Florenzi, a pink and gold Florenzi, should I say, at centre mid if he was to win the vote. So that's what I would probably do there. And then Iñaki Williams is our final player today. Oh no, I've used 2 of my, oh god, I didn't think I used my Spanish golds, so I'm going to have to rejig this. So can I go Spain gold, 78 rated, and what have we got left? Would a 77 cut it? Yeah, 77 is going to cut that just fine. So for this one, we've only used 4 golds in total, and that is because I've been using like rare silver players that are a nice high rating. So my 4 golds are all Spanish, some La Liga, some, like, what is this guy? He's Belgian league, I believe it is. 2 silver Spaniards to get the chem up as well, and then just literally Argentines from the Argentine League that I just never use. Even got a bronze in there as well, so that's a nice cheap way to go ahead and complete this overall. 4 gold players, then how many? 1 bronze, so 6 silvers, right? Overall is actually quite cheap. So hopefully you guys can do something like that, replicate something like that to get your squads to the exact rating and do just fine. We'll go ahead and complete it and get this Iñaki Williams. I can see this guy coming in 3rd place out of everyone, even though a striker Iñaki would be very fun and I'd like that a lot. I just feel like the other 2 options being centre mid's probably going to be Club 80. It's just a case of this guy's just going to fall short because he's not going to be as good or as popular as the other guys. So there you have it today, chaps. We have completed 4 of the SBCs. So really I've just voided my vote for voting for all 3 of these guys. But hopefully you'll go out and vote for Florenzi over Sissoko if you want a what I guess would be a slightly better player. However, my actual thoughts is that Sissoko is going to win, Florenzi would be 2nd, and Iñaki would come in 3rd place. But go ahead and get yourself a Sterling if you haven't done so already. I think he's probably going to be quite a good item, and I will give him a review over the next day or 2 so that you know whether or not he's worth it. Thanks so much for watching. Smash a thumbs up on the video. Don't forget, of course, to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Have a good one, guys, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.